Hello, everyone. This is Bridget from the EC Fitness Center bringing you your weekly guided meditation followed by my essential oil class. Today's essential oil is going to be basil, and the crystal is going to be amethyst. We will start out with our meditation. Our meditation today is the awareness meditation. Good morning, Haley. And so go ahead and find yourself a comfortable seated or lying position. Guided meditation, awareness. Welcome to today's guided meditation focusing on breath and body awareness. Come to a comfortable position wherever you are. Allow yourself these minutes to focus inward in a non-judgmental way, acknowledging the feelings and sensations that arise while not trying to alter them. You may choose to keep your eyes open or blink your eyes completely shut. Start by sending your awareness to your breath. Notice each inhalation and each exhalation. Allow your breath to remain as it is, calm and rhythmical. Begin to shift your attention to your body. Notice how your body feels in this moment. Feel the weight of your body settle down towards the earth. Take a few deeper breaths and let go a little more on each out breath. Allow each breath to settle, to find its own natural rhythm, letting the breath breathe itself. Try not to interfere with this process. Notice how the body moves in response to the breath. The chest expands and relaxes, the belly rise and fall. Try to let go of any ideas about how you think it ought to be. Just rest with the awareness of how things actually are. Imagine in your mind's eye a wave flowing up to the beach, turning and flowing back out to the sea again. Notice how the movement of your breath has a rhythm very much like the sea. Notice how each breath is unique, how no two breaths are the same. Notice the texture, the quality, and the duration of each breath. If you notice the body or mind tensing, gently let this tension go without any judgment. Do this over and over again if necessary with a kind, gentle awareness. Now include any pain or discomfort in your body. Bring this into your awareness. Very often we resist feelings of pain or discomfort, which can lead to more tension, pain, and discomfort. Use your breath to help soften the hard edges around your pain and allow a tender, gentle awareness to permeate the in and the out breath. As you use your breath to soften the resistance to your pain or discomfort, experience how it changes. Experience how it comes into being and passes away moment by moment. Now you can broaden out your experience even more to invite in the pleasurable dimensions into your awareness. This might be very subtle, such as a tingling in your fingertips or some pleasure around your breath. In your own way, scanning your entire experience and notice little moments of pleasure arising and falling within each moment. You may notice that each moment of life contains elements that are painful and elements which are pleasurable. This is the way things are in the world for everyone. Notice the tendency to hard against the pain and to grasp after pleasure. Relax back into the broad feeling of your awareness. Now, broaden your awareness still more to include the awareness of others. Become aware that all humanity experiences a mixture of pain and pleasure, moment by moment, and in much the same way that you do. The story of our lives are unique, but the range of basic experience and emotions are very similar. We all have hopes and dreams, fears and regrets, no matter where we live, our age, or wealth. In this way, we can allow our own experience of pain and pleasure to become moments of empathy for others who are also in pain. All life suffers in one way or another. All life experiences pleasure in one way or another. In the same way that you filled the breath with kind awareness towards our own experience, you can now allow this kind awareness to permeate the in and the out breaths as you think of others. Maybe you can get a sense of the whole world breathing. All life breathing like the waves on the ocean. Rising and falling. Allow a sense of the hard edges of separation to soften. Letting go into a sense of all that we share and a feeling of connection with all life as you sit here, resting quietly with your breath, moment by moment. Now, as we bring this meditation to a close, Come back into full awareness of your body. Feel in firm contact with the earth. Tune into the movements of your breath in your body. Gradually externalize your awareness. When you are ready, if your eyes are closed, gently open your eyes. Take in your surroundings. Taking this awareness with you into your life as it unfolds moment by moment. Namaste. Thank you so much. Go ahead and grab your notebook and we will get ready for the essential oil and crystal part of the class today. I'm going to grab my notes. So if you have basil essential oil, go ahead and grab it. Oftentimes I set all of my oils out in one area of the house. Typically it's next to my bed, so I can just grab each one when I need it. Sometimes I carry them in my purse as well. But basil oil today, if you have it, you can take it, drop 1 to 2 on your hand. I like to spin it clockwise and then inhale. You also can drip oils into your diffuser. I also take my hands up and around my body in the front, side, and back, bringing in the energy of basil into my body, into my energy field. All right, so if you have your notebook ready, we can start talking about the properties. The physical properties of basil will go first, and then we will move into the emotional properties of basil. And then as always, we will do an acupressure point for a specific emotion that we would like to release with an affirmation at the end. And so the emotion today is going to be overwhelmment. And exhaustion. Basil is excellent with that. So go ahead, we're going to take 3 deep breaths. Go ahead and close your eyes. Inhale and exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Grounding. Inhale. Breathing in that basil if you have it, and exhale. Basil belongs to the mint family. What I love basil for is anxiety. So we'll talk more about that later, but that's the main focus. Also, any muscle pain or strains that I have, I like the warming effect. And so I will mix that with a carrier oil and put it on any area of my body that's feeling kind of a muscle strain or pain. But it's very calming for anxiety or nervousness. So as I said, basil belongs to the mint family. Other uses for basil: soothes or eliminates headaches. This one I have not tried before, but now that I think about it, I have a blend that also uses peppermint and wintergreen, which I think work really great for headaches. And also it has basil in it. And so for headaches, I like to put it on my hands and then place it on the back of my neck and then up and around my temples and my forehead. And then I'll take it and massage it up into my head, rubbing on my ears all the way up and down. Deep breaths and lots of water, and that helps my headaches. Basil helps with fatigue, sadness, other discomforts. For example, the discomforts of asthma. So people will rub this right on that upper chest or the lung area. So I should talk about uses. You can use this aromatically, just directly smelling it, taking it directly from the bottle. You can drip this in your diffuser and let it air out. Topically, like I said, 3 to 5 drops. Whenever I'm using it, I always start out with 1 to 2. But if you're using this specifically for adrenal fatigue or fatigue, like we'll talk about later, 3 to 5 drops, and then you can place that on your low back. Some oils can be used internally. I just caution you to really do your research on that, making sure the oil is organic and that you know the company and that the oil can be used internally. All right, other uses of basil. So we talked about the discomforts for asthma. Benefits for those of us that suffer with allergies. Helps with poor concentration. Again, sinuses, allergies, sinus congestion. I will take basil with like a coconut oil or an organic lotion. Impress along my upper cheeks here, along my eyebrows. Again, same thing with the headache. Temples, rubbing on the forehead and then taking and rubbing into the scalp. And then along those acupressure points on the ear, I just go up and back down. Deep breath in and out, lots of water. So we have allergies, sinus congestion, infections, fevers, and insect repellent. And this is one. Each week I find another one that works for insect repellent. And those of us in Minnesota, I'm just going to start to dump each of these oils in a bottle and mix them up and make my own blend. So try adding basil. Insect repellent. Okay, eliminates bacteria that causes unpleasant odors. So it's a deodorizer. You can use this indoors, inside your car, and you actually can use it on fabrics and furniture. Just make sure you test an area that you don't see first. Basil, excellent digestive properties. So if you're experiencing nauseousness, hiccups, vomiting, or even constipation, add basil essential oil. And for any sort of stomach upset, how I prefer to do that, if I'm not taking it internally, again, you have to do your own research on the internal. I take the oil onto my hand, rub it in some organic coconut oil, and then rub it all along the outside of my tummy area. Sometimes even all the way up into this chest area if it's feeling like it's in the chest or asthma type symptoms, allergy type symptoms. Basil, cosmetic uses. Refreshes, nourishes, and helps repair the skin. Balances your oil production on the skin. It can help calm acne breakouts, soothe eczema, also can help sores or minor abrasions on the skin. Basil. What else? Other uses. Here we go. You can add this directly to your shampoo or to your conditioner. It will add a light, refreshing scent, and it stimulates circulation in the scalp. So this helps with hair growth, or also it helps slow hair loss. Also soothes the itch and irritation of dandruff and other topical conditions. So we talked about basil. It's an anti-inflammatory, and that's what's helping with all of these things. So another amazing anti-inflammatory effect. Okay, so if you can add a bunch of basil to your bath, these are some of the things it helps with. So you dilute it to your water into your warm bath, soothes menstrual cramps, joint or muscle aches. And so this is a big one. I really feel that warming effect helps that joint and or muscle aches. Can help with gout. Can help that itch of insect bites. And again, exhaustion. And so if you're just feeling completely exhausted, if you can, put the oil on your low back, otherwise drip a bunch of essential oil, basil into your bath, and it will help. So moving on, so that's physical symptoms, uses for basil. Moving on to the emotional symptoms that it can help with. This is amazing. I love basil for, like I said, anxiety. It is so calming. I would say the best oils I have ever found for anxiousness and or depression for me personally in my life, frankincense and basil. Those are my top two. All right, basil, let's talk about the emotional. So negative emotions that basil can help with: anxiousness, overwhelmed, drained, exhausted, or negative habits. This is another really big one. So its positive properties are leaves you feeling energized, renewed, rejuvenated, rested, and strengthened. So talking specifically about adrenal exhaustion, if you have any questions about the adrenals and adrenal exhaustion, go ahead and contact me or look up adrenal exhaustion or adrenal symptoms. I think you'll be really surprised. So the symptoms of adrenal exhaustion help identify the moods, that we can help with basil. So here we go. Fatigue, low energy, being overwhelmed, or the inability to cope with life's stressors. The smell, just the smell of basil, brings strength to the heart and relaxation to your mind. The book that I'm reading from, I list on the bottom here so you can see what book I'm using. I'm using 2 books today. Basil oil is excellent for states of nervousness, anxiousness, and despair. Absolutely. I'm telling you, it's one of the tops. So this and frankincense, the best. Basil oil supports those who are under a great deal of mental strain, bringing rejuvenation after long periods of burnout and or exhaustion. Again, basil strengthens their adrenals and restores the body to its natural rhythms of sleep, activity, and rest. This is a big one. Basil oil helps recovery from negative habits, giving hope and optimism. Basil can assist you with giving up false stimulants. So maybe you're too much chocolate, coffee, things like that, or other stimulants, by helping you increase your natural energy. So this really is a mind, body, spirit oil, and it is amazing. Again, you can inhale from the bottle, place drops in your hand, topically on that low back or anywhere on your body. And then internally, do some research on that, make sure it's organic and you know where it's coming from and can be used internally. Some people will put it under the tongue in a capsule or in water. Again, do your research, make sure you know what you're putting in your body. and on your skin. I would always make sure that it's 100% organic. So moving on to the portion where we bring in an acupressure point for exhaustion. So today we're going to use the emotion exhaustion. The book that I've been using for so many years here, Releasing Emotional Patterns with Essential Oils. You find an area, an acupressure point on your body where the emotion is being held. And I feel so much of our physical things manifest. So physical ailments that we feel in our body are because of stuck emotions in the body. I've researched this for so many years and use it with my clients. It's amazing. If you have any other questions, please email me. It's listed below. So for today, we're going to find the acupressure point and we're going to use for exhaustion, and we're going to use basil oil and an affirmation to move it up and out of the body. So looking up in the book here, exhaustion, what we want to do is take our basil, drop it, a few drops into our hand, rub it around, again, smell it. And I take the basil around my body to get the energy up and around. So the opposite. So what we want to find is feeling exhaustion in our body, right? We've all felt this. We want to feel the opposite feeling. So the way out, as Carolyn calls it in the book, is the opposite motion, or the other side is energy. So the opposite of exhausted is energetic. So if you can find energy in your body, otherwise just bring the emotion of energy into your body, or bring it to your consciousness, then it's the other side of exhaustion. So that's what we're going for. So we're going from exhaustion to energetic. That's the goal. And how we're going to do this is we're going to find the acupressure point on the body that holds exhaustion in the body, and we're going to press on it. And so in here it says the alarm point, as she puts it, is in the muscle. So this is actually on your low back, no surprise, in the area of the adrenals, which we just talked about for exhaustion. You go into the bottom part of your spine, basically where your spine meets the upper part of your hips or your glutes, the upper part. And you're going to press in the very middle of your spine in that area. So that's the acupressure point. I want you to press on that now. And then you're going to smell in your opposite hand that basil essential oil. You're going to bring the feeling of exhaustion into your body. You're probably already there. It's been a tough year for us all. So we're feeling exhausted, and the other side is energy. So what we're trying to do is pull out that exhaustion, and then allow your body to balance back into its natural energy. So we're smelling. How we do this, how we release this, is by using a positive affirmation. Sometimes just bringing it into your consciousness one time, using the affirmation, you feel it lift and leave you. Other times it's been a really deep, stuck emotion for maybe days, weeks, months, years, maybe your lifetime. So sometimes it can take a few times a day. It can take a few times a day for a few weeks, a few months. So just know, using positive affirmations it really will help. So let's see here. Exhaustion. The affirmation we're going to use is I nurture myself. Huge, right? We all forget oftentimes to nurture ourselves first as we are taking care of everybody else. Our friends, our spouses, our significant other, our children, our coworkers, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, our home, our cars. What we're focused outward. And so this exhaustion is a trigger to nurture yourself and fill up your own cup. So then you are able to give to others. All right. So the affirmation we're going to use is I nurture myself. So again, using one hand to press on that low back area, the bottom of your spine, right where your spine meets the upper part of your hips or your glutes. Pressing on that acupressure point. We're going to smell that basil oil. Feeling the exhaustion, and then feeling the other side, feeling and remembering what it felt like to have energy. We're going to say, I nurture myself. Breathe. I nurture myself. I nurture myself. Sometimes I'll put my hand on my heart. I nurture myself. And that is how you use the oil to release an emotion. Again, sometimes it takes one time. Sometimes it takes a couple times a day for that day. Sometimes it takes a couple times a day for a few days or a few weeks or a few months. So you can write down, I nurture myself. You can put it up and around on a sticky note and touch that point in the back if you're exhausted. Smell the essential oil basil. If you don't have basil, you can use any oil. If you ever have a question of what oil to buy, I would always say lavender. If you want to start and you don't have all of the essential oils, you can always use, any essential oil that you have, but basil specifically talks on exhaustion. So I'm using that today. A couple other points. Some people like to go a little bit further with this, and you can read the book or you can ask me about this, but I like to do this at the end. So I have my hand on my low back. I'm smelling basil. I'm using the affirmation, I nurture myself. Breathing in basil, I nurture myself. And I like to press on the middle part of my forehead and then all the way out. So she calls these emotional points. So I press here and I just feel like it's helping me to release. And then on the back part of my neck, where my neck meets the bottom of my skull, I press there almost as like a release point. And then on that soft spot on the top of your head, like when you were a baby. And then oftentimes I feel like that opens up the crown or it gives a release valve is how I feel it in my body. So again, I find the exhaustion acupressure point on my low back. I smell the basil oil. I use the affirmation, I nurture myself. And as I'm talking, I nurture myself, I'm going to press on the middle part of my forehead. I'm going to press on that back part, the lower part where the skull matches your neck, and then that soft spot of the head. So as I'm saying, I nurture myself, I'm using those points. And I feel like that's like a release valve. And I can feel that whenever it's on the top of my head, I really feel that. So go ahead and give that a try. And if you have any other questions, or if you'd like to work on a specific emotion with me, stress, anxiety, guilt, hurt, what are some other ones here? Just reading down, sadness, self-esteem or low self-esteem, rebellion, weakness, worry. So there's any emotion that you feel you're stuck with, abandonment, there's so many, sabotage. And so we can take that emotion, use an oil, use an acupressure point, use a specific affirmation, and then release that. A lot of times, like say depression, you release that, and then underneath it is a layering of other emotions that come up. So the depression kind of is just encompasses all of these other emotions. And then we can go back through resentment, forgiveness, overwhelmment, things like that. So sometimes it's multi-layered and it's a really neat process. I've used these for years. So that is the releasing emotions with essential oils. So moving on, taking a deep breath in, open mouth exhale. I want to just close here before we do our journal question, which is fun today. I want to talk about amethyst crystal. And so this amethyst might look a little bit different than what you're used to. This is a smooth one. It's been cut and then polished. And so I like to touch this one on my face. But oftentimes you see the beautiful amethyst, in the crystal formation, and it's a gorgeous purple violet color. And I love this one. And I've actually forgotten and haven't had this one near me. And as soon as I picked it up today, I'm like, oh, I love this one. I forgot about amethyst. I need to remember. Amethyst, one of the most popular of the quartz crystals and the most powerful and protective. You can put this, you can carry this in your pocket, little pieces of it. People like to put it, jewelry, tons of jewelry you'll see. So you can actually wear it. All right, amethyst properties: relieve stress, irritability, dispels anger, rage, fear, and anxiety. So again, as we were talking about basil oil with anxiousness, the amethyst also helps with anxiety. So it helps balance your mood. Also really, really great for those in grief. So if you have this and you can put it in a pocket near your heart, or some people like to tuck it in like a sports bra or carry it with you in your pocket, or again, wear it on a necklace or an earring, a bracelet. I like to place this next to my bed or hold on to it. Some people like to do that at night under their pillow. You can place this up all over your house because it's gorgeous. You can use this in meditation, and it's been known to be used in beauty products. Like I was saying, just like up and around the face. I've seen it in things for beauty products and so many more. You can keep this at work. Such a good one for calming. And what else here? Oh, maximizing positive energy. So yes, I like to put it next to my computer at work. My crystals, you will see. Here we go. So healing and cleansing powers. Helps you open your intuition and helps with overindulgence. So again, similar to basil when we talked about overindulging or even addictions, things like that. Super amazing for that. So it enhances sobriety. It has a calming effect, which is what I love. Insomnia relief. It helps hormone production by balancing the endocrine system and boosts the immune system. So yes, that is amethyst, the most popular of the quartz crystals. If you have any other questions about the crystals or about essential oils or releasing emotions with essential oils, please email me and we can set up a one-on-one session. Thank you so much for joining me for our weekly meditation and essential oil class. Hope this finds you well. Take care. Namaste.